Let's go to another newsmaker tonight. Jagdeep Dhankar, the governor of Bengal, joins me. Appreciate your joining us. Mr. Dhankar, you seem to have got yourself into another war with the West Bengal government and Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee. You are accusing the government of lawlessness and political killings. Is this now another round of your battle with the Chief Minister?
Rajdeep, I have a serious objection to this question. Your narrative is inspired. This is not a fair narrative. I would want you to back it with facts. As constitutional head, I confine to constitutional limitations. Let me give you an illustration. This morning I tweeted that in the state of West Bengal, for the month of August, the number of rapes were 223. Number of kidnappings were 639. Now these reports with respect to August came to me from all the divisions officially, and they came to me just 3 days back. They were compiled by senior bureaucrats. And look at the situation.
No, Mr.
The Home
Governor,
Department says it is wrong.
Mr. Governor, the State Home Department this evening has said the statistics that you have put out in the public domain are baseless, wrong. You are making false allegations. They are not based on any data. This is now the Governor versus the State Home Department in Bengal.
Yes, I get it. And look at now what I say. Stunned, terrible misrepresentation. They must apologetically withdraw. All these reports emanate from authentic reports officially sent to the constitutional head. I have questioned the Chief Secretary. I have questioned the Additional Chief Secretary Home. How can we, Rajdeep, countenance such a situation?
Sir?
You send official reports to the constitutional head. They are sent after a month. They are duly compiled. How dare anyone contradict those facts? And drop of a hat, the Home Department goes on Twitter. They must be visited, and they shall be visited with consequences. Coming back to your narrative, please be fair to the governor. Tell me where this governor is fighting with the government. Perhaps you have no idea what is happening in the state of West Bengal. Democracy is virtually on ventilator. Visit West Bengal.
Mr. Governor,
I want to tell you, go to the scene of 2012.
Mr. Governor, the charge...
Sagarika Ghosh was here at Town Hall.
Mr. Governor, the charge therefore is that you are speaking today not as the governor of a state but a politician. That's what the Bengal government is saying. They say it is the responsibility of the Chief Minister to handle law and order, not your job, not the governor's job, that you are only interfering, and this is political interference at the behest of the centre.
No, look here, Rajdeep. You are such a senior journalist. As governor, I am open to correction if Rajdeep will tell me, Governor, you are crossing your limits. Please, for a change, read Article 159. It is the obligation of the governor to preserve, protect, and defend Indian Constitution. Now, what happened in 2012 with Sagarika was a beginning. Over 7 years, the compromise, intolerance has been on the rise. Come to the state of West Bengal, ask one inconvenient question, you will get a knock on the door the next day. What I am telling you is, I am confining to my oaths. One, defend Constitution, and number two, serve the people of the state of West Bengal. Imagine.
Sir, you are saying that, but Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee insists that you are acting as a political agent of the centre, acting at Home Ministry and Amit Shah's behest to somehow or the other undermine the Bengal government, especially before next year's elections.
You may be having that idea, I have no idea. This governor has professional background, will never ever cross limits, and the Chief Minister is much beyond the law, much beyond red line. She is distancing from Constitution every day. Why don't you ask Chief Minister a single question? Why has she miserably failed to perform her duties qua the governor? Article 167 is very clear. She doesn't give any information.
Sir, the chief minister's role is one thing, the governor's role is another. The fact is, whenever anything happens in Bengal, the first thing you do is put it out on Twitter. The TMC says when there is, let's say, a criminal incident in Uttar Pradesh or a BJP-ruled state, the governor there doesn't tweet against the chief minister. Why does the governor tweet in Bengal? They claim because it's an opposition government. Elections are next year. This is an attempt to undermine the government. I repeat, that is the charge being made against you.
Let me tell you, I more than expected this question. All I can say is, please be professionally fair. Either pin me down on fact situation, come to state of West Bengal. Look at, we are a terror heaven. Look at, we have terror modules. Look at we have freely bomb making machines everywhere. Just visit West Bengal. Look at how human rights are compromised. A retired Chief Justice of Calcutta High Court, he sees me, he tells me my Human Rights Commission for 4 years is on ventilator. Do I ignore it? A leader of the opposition comes to tell me, Governor, for 55 years I have never been so insulted by a petty police official. I have written to the Chief Minister, he doesn't reply. The Governor writes, Rajdeep, Governor writes to the Chief Minister, enclosing letter of the leader of opposition, and she is in silence mode. I can tell you, and I pray to the journalists of the country, senior people like you, please come here to know the enormity of compromise of democracy. Come here to know in what kind of a situation we are.
Sir, but in any case, isn't it, why can this not be resolved between you and Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee in a private conversation? Isn't this unprecedented? Twitter wars are taking place between two constitutional functionaries, between the governor and the Chief Minister. All of this is playing out in the public domain. Is this healthy for our constitutional democracy?
Rajdeep, I have enormous respect for you. It is 20 years we are connecting one to one. I remember that connect also vividly on reservation. Let me tell you, this governor is not at war with the chief minister. For heaven's sake, don't have this narrative. The chief minister is at war with the governor. The chief minister is at war with Raj Bhavan because the chief minister is distancing from constitution. What will a governor do if MLAs are killed, if such targeted killings are there? Political violence is on increase. You are more informed, Rajdeep, than I am. The kind of political violence the state of West Bengal has. I am working right from day.
You know, given the way you are depicting the picture in Bengal, I want to ask you a simple question. Are you thinking or have you thought of calling for President's rule in Bengal? Do you believe that elections next year should be held under President's rule? Mr. Governor, is that what you are gunning for?
Rajdeep, you are such a senior man, you don't expect me to share what inputs a governor gives either to the chief minister or to other authorities. I have never shared. If I have shared a document with the chief minister, it is because she has shared it before. I adhere to real protocol. I adhere to real decorum. I am not a person to throw bat in the air. I am pursuing the situation. I am persevering. It is my object. We must have fair elections. We must have free elections. We must have police and administration politically neutral.
Okay. Jagdeep Dhankar, Governor of Bengal, virtually in a sense claiming that you want free and fair elections in Bengal and striking out against the Mamata Banerjee government. Thank you very much for joining us. Not often that a governor will come and speak out so openly against the Chief Minister of a state.
Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.